Rev up your engine! Okay, we got an old Corolla with almost 300,000 miles. How did it hold up? And he's the original owner too, so we know the whole truth about this car. Now, as you can see, it's a 4-cylinder Toyota engine. It's the same exact one that's in my wife's Matrix, to tell you the truth. Their 1.8 liter engines are virtually indestructible with just the minor amount of maintenance, like changing the oil and filter regularly. Now, it's the original engine, doesn't burn any oil. They had to replace the alternator once, the starter twice. They are kind of a weak thing. And at around 280,000 miles or so, he put a clutch in because this is a manual transmission. So really, you can't complain about low maintenance on almost 300,000 miles. See, from the superficial rust, especially back there, it's lived its whole life in upstate New York. We can see here, rust is now a factor after all these years. Crunchy, crunchy. Yes, eventually, as the owner said, it will rust apart. The alloy wheels, those on hubcaps, they're certainly starting to corrode away. Now, as I said, this is a manual transmission, but his mother has a Corolla that's an automatic. It's got 250,000 miles and it's still going strong. That's how they sell these things. They can just keep running and running. They warn me the cat code comes up sometimes because they got a little exhaust leak. But oddly enough, he says he might go on a trip, it'll come on for 40, 50 miles and goes off again. But we'll get the real skinny with this. Diagnostic, doing this little thing, knows the VIN number. Here we go, Corolla North America, 1ZZE engine, 2005. Here we go. We're gonna analyze it and see what kind of shape it's in. Doing its thing, we'll start her up. You can hear the exhaust leak. It's a racing Corolla. And realize if you get an exhaust leak like that, it's going to confuse the oxygen sensor system by having unregulated air going out of the exhaust. So you're going to get some weird codes. It runs perfectly fine, gets great gas mileage. You're going to get all kinds of stuff if you have an exhaust leak. You got to fix it if you want to get rid of codes. Just a few codes. This will probably be a cat code because it confuses the oxygen sensors when there's an exhaust leak. Sure enough, P0420, it's got codes for oxygen sensor and catalytic converters because it's got an exhaust leak. Well, the owner just informed me that it's had this ongoing for about 6 years and he's still driving it all over the place. And it's got an airbag code on it. We'll see what the airbag code is. Airbag sensor, current, LED, front airbag sensor, historical. You never expect the airbags to work. The airbags on my old Celica, they don't work either. So let's look at the live data. We'll get some information on what kind of shape this almost 300,000 mile vehicle has. As you can see while it's hooking up, it's got 297 1110 on it. And as I said, he's the original owner. And even though it's got his codes, it still has the mill off, so it's not that bad. And you can see the short-term and long-term fuel. It's kind of screwed up. It's adding extra fuel. Like I said, when you get an exhaust leak, it screws up the oxygen sensor reading, so it's going to mess with the fuel trims. It runs perfectly fine, but you're going to get really skewed data. If you're worried about stuff like that, just start by fixing the exhaust leak first. But he's been driving it 6 years this way and it still goes, so what the heck? Airflow sensor's perfect, 1.7, it's a 1.8 liter engine. Curse the data from the oxygen sensors because the fuel trim is still almost perfect. It's got no misfires, 00000. Engine doesn't burn oil, and these things are solid made. It's an old car, you notice. It's got a CD player though, and it doesn't have a tape deck. It's just got a CD player, so it's somewhat modern. We go in the racing Corolla. Well, we know the airbags don't work. We already got that. And you can see the tire pressure monitoring system. It's gone bye-bye, but hey, you getting your money's worth out of it? Side mirror's gone there. The glass is falling out of it. And here we go. Hey, it's still got a little zip left. That's the advantage of a manual transmission. Even with this little bitty engine, it's still got plenty of zip with a 5-speed standard transmission. And as old as it is, hey, it still corners. You just don't want to go way too fast, because if you get any body flex, the rust may come flying off. Here we go again. There we go. Listen to that power. Now listen to it. It's purring like a kitten. 2 years ago, this got hit by a deer. Yeah, a deer. It was a side blow, and you can see here it's kind of crinkled. The window wouldn't roll down, so I took the inside and he beat it out, so now the window rolls down. But, hey, it's still going down the road. Last year, a guy was going to bring me a brand new Mitsubishi, but unfortunately, on the New Jersey Turnpike, a deer totaled the entire car, and that was the end of the car. Well, this thing hit a deer, and it's still going down the road, so they're a lot stronger than you might think. And sadly, it lives in upstate New York, so as you saw, the undercarriage is slowly starting to kind of rot away. But if it wasn't for that, this thing could go on forever. And, hilariously enough, hey, Toes, a utility trailer with it. It does have a standard transmission, so you'd be able to do something like that. Wheels are pitted. You can always get new wheels if you want. But at almost 300,000 miles, it's still an everyday driver. You can't say that about too many cars these days, the way they make them, but hey, it's the 1.8 liter VVT engine. It's probably the best all-around engine Toyota ever made for regular transportation, which is what these Corollas were made for. They'll just run and run and run, even when deers hit them. And here's some bonus questions and answers. Hugo Z says, Scotty, my car idles high when the weather's been cold. When I turn it on first thing in the morning, it idles normally the rest of the day. Is that normal? Well, it's supposed to idle a little bit higher, but not super high. Now, when it's cold, the idle air control valve is supposed to make it idle higher to warm it up. It could be your valve is old and it's sticky. You can take it off. You can clean it. Watch my video, make your car run better with a little spray cleaner, Scotty. Type that in YouTube, watch the video. You can get throttle spray cleaner, you get mass airflow sensor cleaner, clean them yourself. It's very easy to do. And if it goes away, I fixed it like that. Now, if not, you could have a bad idle air control valve, which you can buy and change if you want. But let's say it's not idling way too high, and it's just a little bit higher. Most people just live with it. A lot of cars will do that as they age. Gertapec Joshi says, Scotty, I got a Hyundai Elantra 2013, 160,000 miles. Its acceleration has slowed down. I recently filled the gas from a shady gas station. Is it due to bad gas? Well, you know, bad gas is a relatively rare thing these days. It's not all that common. Back in the day, my father's day, it happened all the time. When I worked at the corner Texaco gas station in Lewiston, New York, every morning when we got up, we had this like 20-foot long wooden pole, and we put some green liquid out of a little paste on the last 3 inches. We shove it down into the gas tanks. And if that green turned color, it meant there was water. And if there was more than an inch of water in the bottom, we had to call the Texaco guys and they had to pump the water out. That really doesn't happen anymore. All this fiberglass reinforced tanks, they really don't do that anymore. It's pretty rare these days to get bad gasoline. In most areas, there's only like one place that makes the gasoline, and then everybody else, Exxon, Texaco, Shell, whatever, they buy it from that one refinery. So I kind of doubt it. It's a Hyundai. They break down over time. Could easily be something just breaking down. And maybe it needs a tune-up, maybe it needs an air filter. I doubt if it's bad gas. Me Woo says, Scotty, are Hondas made in the UK reliable? Okay, well, generally they are. Of course, I would rather have a Japanese car made by Japanese than by the English. The English and their history of building cars in the 20th and 21st century isn't the greatest in the world, but I don't know. I know people in England have them and they don't have any particular problems. The engines and trannies and everything come from Japan, so probably should be okay. Freddie de la Cruz says, Scotty, I'm getting a P 2008 code intake manifold runner, 13 Kia Sorento 3.5 V6. Would I have to replace my intake manifold, or is there another solution? Well, try cleaning it first. Those runners can stick from carbon. So you could try some of Bernie's carbon cleaner. You could try spraying in the intake, any good intake manifold spray cleaner. And sometimes they'll break loose and they'll work again. Now, if not, yeah, you'd have to replace the stupid thing. It's a very expensive thing. And realize, of course, it's all made out of plastic crap. Sometimes the plastic gets hot, it warps and it sticks, and you got to replace it. That's the problem of modern cars with all the plastic crap they put in them. Tracy Balthazar says, Scotty, I just had to replace the gas tank of my 2016 Corolla because of a leak in the gas line near the tank. Why don't they make a separate part for that? All right, well, I hate to break it to you, but they probably ripped you off. It had a leak in a gas line near the tank. Okay, the gas lines aren't built into the tank. The tank is a separate unit. Then the fuel pump and the gas line is an assembly. It's a bunch of little bolts. You take them out. Then the whole piece comes out with the gas lines and the fuel pump. And you could replace just that part. If the only problem you had was a gas line was leaking and they replaced your whole gas tank, they ripped you off. The line isn't part of the tank. The tank is a separate part. I don't know. It sounds to me like they ripped you off. I don't know where the leak was, or maybe there was a pinhole in the tank. It sounds kind of to me like you got ripped off. So if you never want to miss another one of my new car repair videos, remember to ring that bell.